It's good afternoon, Rose Lane. Welcome to Yellow Shelf.
Thank you, Joanna.
Thank you for coming on. Your book is out now, hot off the press.
Yep.
Congratulations. Your book's a
Thank you.
memoir, The Last of the Tibetan Kingdoms. Tell us all about it.
So it's about a place in Nepal that few people in Australia at least have even heard of, let alone been to. Right up in the north, sort of halfway along the northern border of Nepal, there's this little bump called Upper Mustang, and it used to be part of Tibet, uh, annexed by Nepal in the late 1700s. It was its own little kingdom of Lo, and this walled city of Lo Manthang. It's been there for 700 years, and it had its own king and queen right down for all that 700 years in a straight line, a direct line until the last king died in 2016. Anyway, I first went to Nepal in 2010, heard about this place, and was fascinated that because it had been largely unchanged in all of that time, and
Yeah.
the king was still there at that time. I couldn't find anything about it. I could find very little information. The last book written about it was in the 60s.
Wow.
So in the end, I thought, oh, well, I'll just have to go there for myself and see it. So, but it's a 2 week trek. I'm not a trekker.
Wow.
Um, I just knew I couldn't do it. And it's up to like 4,000 meters altitude, which is decent.
Yeah.
But then my family home was sold in 2013. And so the book goes into that why that was a difficult thing for me, but also why it was because I was never really happy in that home. So it goes into a lot about my family and stuff. But on leaving for the last time, I just thought I need a goal. So I thought, right, I'm going to get to this place and see it for myself. So on further investigation, I discovered I could ride a horse there.
Yeah.
So 2015, we set off, my husband and I and our staff. So it's not an easy place either because you have to pay 500 US to get in there. You
Yep.
also have to have a guide. You can't just trek up there on your own. So anyway, we did that, and yeah, we just found this place which was still unchanged in a lot of ways, but also now changing rapidly because they're building a road right through there. So you can it's a rough road still, but you can just drive up there. But
Yeah.
oh, electricity's come there now, computers have come there now, like so the world is
Yeah.
arriving in Lo
The world
Manthang.
is,
So it is changing. Yeah.
yeah. And it's definitely a book about that next chapter in your life when, like you mentioned, the trigger of a sale of what's a possession, a family home, and then the idea that you're surrendering to next chapter. And, I learned a lot. I had to Google the place, and you're
Of
right.
course.
There's still not a lot of information about the location. I guess the medieval city, it's described as
Mm,
um, yeah, and I guess the book is like not only is it like a travel memoir, but it's also there's a lot of information and history about Nepal, which I found fascinating.
yeah. Yeah, there is. Yeah, because I go into I think I mentioned like the when the royal family was assassinated in
Yeah.
2001, the Crown Prince went crazy and shot everybody and then himself. That's a whole other story, which someone else has written a book about. But yeah, that it's quite an interesting place, Nepal, and it's still trying to find its way since it's abolished its monarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
we saw in recent weeks, they had big riots there.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And Rose, tell us about, is this your first book you've written, first published book?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've been a freelance writer for probably almost 20 years now, so I've written for a few publications, but this is my first full length book.
Yeah, and what was that process like as a first time? I know I did read you're a copywriter and like you mentioned, written a lot, but what
Yeah.
was it like as an author?
Well, it started out as my master's project actually, because I did a master's in creative industries and I did the trip up there and it was kind of, looking at a place that because foreigners weren't allowed in there till 1992.
Yeah.
So, um, and so nothing had been written really since that time. So it was kind of that was kind of the basis of the master's. But after that, I got into a manuscript development program in Canberra and that helped shape it into a book. It had a couple of edits from Nadine Davidoff, who ran that program, and yeah, that was kind of over a 10-year period. It's was
Yeah.
rewritten and rewritten and yeah, finally got there.
Yeah, well done. I mean, like any great writer, you go through the churn, don't you, of
Yep.
or any published writer and any great writer. Rose, tell us about, you've got a great website. I'll point people in that direction if they're curious about you and your work, curious about the book. But quickly, my last question will be, would you write again? Did you enjoy like being a published author so much that there's more to publish?
I think so. Yeah, I've got a couple of ideas, sort of fictionalized real things, which is probably all fiction, really. But
Yes.
yeah, I've sort of I've made a bit of a start, so I'm kind of
Okay.
hoping to get into that next year.
Well, no pressure. You've got to enjoy this one first. Enjoy the journey. That's, all really what it's about, isn't it? Thanks for
Yeah,
coming. But in any future books, I would love to have you back to support you. And
great.
I'm going to point people in the direction of the website. I know you're on LinkedIn. Is there anywhere else you want people to
Yeah,
find?
so there's also a blog called a journey to lomantang.com, and that's
Okay.
kind of I started that sort of a long time ago when I first did the trip, and there's a lot of pictures because there's no pictures in the book. But if
Yeah.
you want pictures of the place, that's where to
Oh,
go.
okay.
Mm.
Oh, I shouldn't have gone Google searching. I should have gone strght to the
Straight to me. Well, if
yeah.
I Google pictures, when I Google pictures, they're often mine that come up anyway. So
Oh, wow. There you go. Well, I'll put a link into that as well. Rose,
great.
thank you so much for joining us at Yellow Shelf.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Cheers.